Hello everyone and welcome to the Path of Thaeon. Introductions will be short this week. Basically last week the party managed to escape Freyfire and they are now sailing to Stratholm. And now after a wonderful little vision from Flora, a very high quality AAA cutscene, they are now about to plan what they're going to do when they get to Stratholm. So anyway, the three of you, you're taken into the captain's cabin, which Eileen has made basically into a briefing room, and she lays like everything out before you. All right, everyone. Let's just go over Gainsley's plan one more time. Gainsley's plan is as such. Gainsley intends to form a coalition against Calamity between Lovermore and Deridon. He will suggest magic users have secretly seized power in Harping, and the elves in the government are just pawns. He will diplomatically isolate Harping from other countries, demand that they allow the coalition to send in inspectors. If Harping refuses, he will use it as proof of his accusation. If Harping accepts, his inquisitors will find evidence that will justify invasion. Either way, Harping will be easily conquered by the coalition. Then he will do the same with Osea and Jarok in turn, allowing the coalition to divide and conquer the entire world.
It would likely be safe to assume that Harping would feel rather victimized in all this, so they would likely want to reach out to others for assistance.
Well, we've been doing our best in that regard. Unfortunately, there seem to be issues, as you can see, between Jarok, the Ocean Federation, and Harping. I suggest some of these may have been caused by Lovermorian spies, but I feel others by something else. Here's what I suspect. She unfolds the plans and starts pointing to different things. There's some sort of a recent incident that the Ocean Federation ambassador Montaro seems to hold against us for some reason. And as for Jarok, I feel that one of his ambassadorial aides is a spy.
Mm-hmm. And how do you suspect that?
Well, of course, we have spies ourselves. And apparently we've overheard that certain incendiary ideas have been planted in Elango's head. Things that he would not have known otherwise if it was not planted in his head by a spy. Again, we have a lack of hard evidence, but we feel that there's no other possibility.
How about this Primus person?
Primus, he's a bit of a fop, a bit of a prig. He got to his position because of his connections.
Understandable.
He does have a Lovermorian noble as a father. I suppose that makes him a potential suspect.
Well,
the sins of the father are not necessarily the sins of the son.
Not necessarily.
That's true, but you may need to find out who is the spy.
Should be too hard. A couple of questions in the right place.
Undermining the potential alliance.
Also,
and repair some bridges.
Lovermore and Deridon could be on their way to forming an alliance. Ethelbert Gainsley is very charismatic, and he's managed to befriend the Deridonian ambassador. Though Grand Priestess Artisia Vane and King Stanley don't exactly like each other, I think they're not on such bad terms that they would refuse the coalition if their ambassadors thought it was a good idea. They they certainly both love power more than they dislike each other.
Why are they starting with harping?
Well, we're the most likely suspect. We are a society that openly tolerates elves. We are the country where all the elves fled to after the Great Calamity and Thaeon's revolution against them. I mean, I suppose we're the most obvious target for this coalition against Calamity.
I dare say Harping would be least tolerant to such a coalition striking out against any of the other three nations.
Yes.
If that's the case, then surely Harping would be able to state without any fear of contradiction that Lothamore or Deradon, both of them would find evidence of elves in Harping.
Yes.
The elves are not the issue. They think we want to bring out another calamity, that somehow the magic users who are in our asylums and the elves in our government are going to work together to conquer the main continent again, as apparently we did thousands of years ago. This is obvious nonsense, but to the Lothamorians and the Deradonians, they might consider it a worthy reason.
Well,
how insane do you have to be to think that someone who's locked up in an asylum is capable of conquering the world?
They might not necessarily truly believe it, but it'll serve as a good enough excuse on paper.
So the way to go about this...
If they're trying to invoke some fear of the ancient, the wars of the past, where spellcasters were particularly feared as levelers of armies, cities, and nations, then they will also be hitting on stories where imprisoning them never stops them for long.
Yes,
their jails in seas of fire.
That is exactly what they'll say. They'll say that our asylums are merely a place where the magic users control us from a position of safety.
So how do we go about this?
Well, that is largely up to you. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
I would like to dig more deeply into why these two separate countries seem to dislike harping so much. It says here that Montaro is suspicious of Dreyfus after a recent incident. Do you have any idea what that is, Ali?
Well, we've had our various suspicions. However, Montaro has been very vague about it. He says it's a matter of national security and he refuses to discuss it with us.
Where did you stick spies?
I know what you're thinking, and it wasn't us. We have not done anything that could anger the Ocean Federation.
Really? Really?
We're positive about this. Certainly none of our spies there have been caught anyway.
Well, we'll have to deal with that issue as well then.
If I was to make a suggestion, I would suggest that you deal with the issues between Harping, Osea, and Jarok first. If all of us can bring ourselves together and present a strong front against this coalition by the time the second meeting happens, then there's less chance of this plan being adopted when it comes to being discussed.
Seems like a reasonable idea.
And then, if I were you, during the second week, I'd find a way to drive Deradon and Lothamore against each other to drive the final nail into the coffin of this plan.
I think we can use their relationships to our advantage. Especially the ones between Lynch and Gainsley.
What do you plan to do?
Oh, well, we could start off with some rumors concerning their relationship. Maybe build upon that. I think it would be frowned upon if the two ambassadors were, well, too well connected.
A interesting plan. All right. Anyway, if you need any assistance, then just go to the Drunken Donkey Tavern and go to Carl the Barkeep and leave a message for me, and I will find a way to get a message back to you along with any help you need.
We appreciate your assistance in this.
I've never been fond of taverns. They don't seem to like me very much either.
Well, you're gonna have to get used to it.
Also, Lady Flora, if I were you, I would prepare some sort of a speech for the various meetings when the council meet up. If your charismatic words may very well sway the various delegates. She looks at Swift oddly.
I'll offer a wink back.
And Norman kind of folds his arms, looking very mad.
I'll give them an insolent grin.
This will be a battle, won mostly with words. We can uncover all the intrigues and lay them out on the table for all to see, but ultimately we will need to sway their hearts.
Well, if you can do both, I think that would be the that would have the most synergistic effect.
Well, if worst comes to worst, I know what to do.
Well,
yeah, I don't think that's such a good idea. We're in an ambassadorial safe haven. You start stabbing people, we're all going to get in trouble.
Doesn't have to come to that, I hope.
Well, let's keep killing Gainsley as a last resort. That would certainly be a very difficult undertaking.
We don't want a martyr.
No. Anyway, are there any further questions?
In your opinion, and I'm assuming that we're completely safe here, and so be as honest as you like, is this Stanley bloke a coward?
I do not know if I would call him a coward as such, but all I will say is that if he was going to engage in a war, he'd want it to be easy, and he'd want it to be quick, and he'd want it to make himself look great. I do not think he's the sort of person who would want to take many risks.
I suppose the idea of sitting in a saddle for the next 10 years probably doesn't appeal to him all that much then.
I think he prefers the idea of posing atop some sort of great victory and having a statue erected of himself. I do not think the battle appeals to him very much.
Got it. So he's a giant erection. Now, let's get back to these other ones then. How are we... The two main problems here are that Jarok think Harping are bastards because there's a spy, or potentially a spy poisoning the ambassador, with words or with whatever. So which one of us is best suited to deal with that? I get the feeling that more than one of us there is going to cause some problems.
That is entirely up to you.
Nash, are you capable of finding a spy?
Well, I've done so before.
Are you capable of finding a spy covertly, without killing people?
Allow me to make a suggestion. You may, since you are from Jarok and you are a representative of the Dawnbringer Church there, I would ask Olango to go as part of his delegation and sit on the benches there. That would also allow you to stay at the Jarokian embassy, which would mean you'd be well placed to find the spy, and there'd be no suspicion of all of you being there together.
If I can get in, I can find a spy. No one ever pays attention when they're talking around me.
Also, I think it would be a good idea if I kept somewhat of a low profile among the Jarok's delegation.
We would be watched if we were.
But you could fit in as an Ocean?
Well, if they know of me, they'll know of me, and that'll be a problem.
Oh, come on, they're world ambassadors. What are the chances they're going to know about some street scum?
They're business people.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that might do it.
Right. I will leave the finer details to you, but I'm to assume you'll deal with the problems between Osea, Harping, and Jarok in the first week, and in the second, then you will plant the seeds of dissension against Lovermore and Derodon, right?
The timing works well. It takes far longer to build a friendship than it does to destroy one.
Speak for yourself.
Right. Very well, then. I will leave you to work out the fine details between yourselves. I'm starting to get somewhat tired now. I'm certainly not used to having to be a sailor and help out on deck.
It doesn't get any easier.
Nah, you get used to it.
No, you don't. It
Alright.
don't get any easier.
You know where to find me if you need me. Good evening to all of you.
Good night, Aileen.
Aline just rolls up her plans and heads back to her cabin. Alright, so anything the lot of you want to do, or are you happy to kind of chill out until you get to Stratholm?
Chill out.
I suppose we'll need to just establish how much Nash is going to be part of our delegation, and how much he's going to just be off doing his own thing. Because if they know he's meant to be part of the delegation, they're going to wonder where he is all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hear there are some rumors affecting the politics of the situation. Well, where was that guy who was with you when you first came in?
Well, you can work. That's something you can work out off stream because you don't want to have too much nitty gritty planning.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Anyway, the rest of you just good for chilling out?
I plan to learn a new spell, but apart from that, no, not really.
Okay, so you plan to learn a new spell. Okay,
Yes.
Mm.
Would you like to roleplay that a bit?
Is it an option?
It's an option if you want, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
We need more talent.
Yes,
You
more
want
talent. Yes, more talent.
Okay, fine. So after having a crossbow bolt embedded between my legs, almost during the escape from Firewood thingy. What was the name of the town?
Freyfire!
Freyfire, whatever.
Okay.
Well, Firewood, as it'll be known as now.
Fire. Yeah, Firewood. So after escaping from Firewood, that particular moment gave me a flash of inspiration, and so there's an idea that's been rolling around in my, or Swift's, head for the past couple days now. So I'll just head to the aft section of the ship, where hopefully there aren't all that many sailors, and try and figure it out.
Okay. At this point, a vision sparks in your mind. Ah, child, I sense that you are trying to figure out a new power. I am always glad to assist you when you wish to do this.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you remember that crossbow bolt from a while back?
Certainly. It was funny watching you scamper away as it almost impaled you.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, actually. I kind of thought that the scream from the guy that fired at me afterwards, that was funnier.
That was equally amusing.
I suppose you had to be there. So, you noticed the way it quivered when it hit the ground? Crossbow bolts spin when they're fired. I don't know why, but they just seem to. And it seemed to embed itself in the ground because of that spinning. I just thought, could the same thing be applied to the sort of energies that mages manipulate?
It most certainly could. Indeed, such a thing is quite common. I would be happy to provide you with such a power, provided you use it to amuse me.
I can think of a few amusing things to do with it. I mean, if nothing else, it will let me hit things at a greater range, right?
Certainly. At
Seabirds,
this point, in your mind, you start to visualize yourself. For some reason, you see your hand is actually on fire, but you don't feel any pain, and you see yourself firing off this sort of bolt of flaming energy at someone and fall over in a mass of burning, screaming agony. And then you notice your arm is now burning. And then you notice your body is now burning. Then you notice like there's fire in front of your eyes, and then the vision stops.
Okay, point made. Maybe we shouldn't use fire for this one. Yeah, that's the.
You think that was the point I was trying to make?
I gave up trying to fully understand you a couple of years ago. You know that.
That is good that you don't fully understand me. Now, I will leave you to contemplate your new power.
Okay, so put a spot of energy here, then clone it, pull one back. So energy moves between the spots. Fairly standard missile, but without fire.
The sailor
so it's
looks
pure
at
power.
you oddly as you ramble to yourself.
I just glance over at the sailor, give him a quick wink, and then just go back to it. So at this point, I'm basically holding two balls of energy that's sparking between them anyway.
Right, you bounce like two bits of energy between your hands. All right, okay. So as it progresses later into the night, hang on, I'm going to sail a little bit further.
Encounter!
Okay. Nash,
Yes.
you are having a particularly restless sleep.
I will do.
Actually, no.
It's a particularly vibrant memory of your time in Jarrock as a much younger man when you were
Shit.
basically barely a teenager and you were just getting started out as a young hoodlum. There was a contact you made. He was kind of like the Fagin of your of your group of pickpockets and thieves and scoundrels. And he said, basically, it's time for you to move up to the next level above pickpocketing and crime. And he is walking along the streets with you one day. So, hey there, Nash. I've seen lots of potential in you, Nash. You're good at stealing things from rich, fat, stupid nobles and businessmen.
Well, I do.
But
I do try to survive.
Yes, exactly, Nash. You do what you can to survive, and you gotta protect your little sister as well, don't ya?
Well, don't bring her up. I don't like it when people bring her up. You know that.
Oh, easy there, kid. I didn't mean to piss you off. But hey, maybe it's good if you're pissed off. Because I've got a job for you that'll make sure you and your sister are set up and you're comfy for at least the next month or two. You interested?
What does it entail?
I notice you've been pretty handy with those daggers. Well, I've seen some other pickpockets trying to steal things off you, and you've stuck them when they tried to steal from you.
I tried to teach them a lesson.
Well, there's somebody else who needs to be taught a lesson. I think it's time for you to become an assassin, Ash.
You mean like a fixer?
Somebody fixes problems, yeah. You won't quite be on my level yet, but you'll be, you'll definitely be getting closer.
Well,
Now.
I'm all ears.
Okay. You see that house over there? Points you out. A house.
Do-do-do.
It's a fairly sort of lower middle class kind of house. The walls are a bit grimy. There's a man in there. Name's Alistair. Let's just say the Magpie. He hasn't been paying his debts to the Magpie. So, the Magpie needs somebody to show to everyone that people who don't pay their debts to a Magpie after a certain amount of generous allowance of time and patience.
I see what you mean.
People should be quick when they pay back the Magpie.
Yeah, we can't have people skipping on payments.
No, we certainly can't. So, Nash, you ready to do this?
Oh, it's not like I haven't killed anyone before.
I guess not. You've been killing people ever since you were a little kid. I like that about you. I always did. Now, if there's nothing else, go out there and make me proud, kid. I'll be waiting with your pay. He walks off.
I look around and see if there's any people paying mine to the house.
Not right now. I mean, occasionally somebody passes by, but they seem to be more interested in their own lives than what's going on there.
Typical Jarrock.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
people are just trying to look out for themselves, really.
I move up to the door and gently just feels the mechanism if it's locked or not.
It looks like it's locked.
I'll dispatch that lock quickly enough.
Alright, make me a lock-picking roll. By the way, this is a kind of Assassin's Creed memory, where you have all your items and skills. Well, it's being a memory.
But if you die, you say, "Wait, I don't remember that bit."
Yes, you've done break-ins before, even as in your later teens, you've done plenty of break-ins. You hear a satisfying click as the lock comes free.
Works every time. I gently open the door.
Okay, you gently open the door. There's a corridor with stairs.
Weird hinges.
Stairs leading to the second floor.
Oh, take some tentative steps inside.
Alright,
this is one of those newfangled doors from the Zelda.
And I ease the door shut behind me.
It goes shut.
Too much noise.
Too much noise. And I pass along the wall and listen. If there's any movement or sounds on the other side of that door.
Make me a notice roll.
Yes. Nope.
That's fine. Well, basically, you hear kind of muffled noises on the other side of the door, but if anything's being said, you can't quite make it out.
There's someone there anyways.
There does seem to be someone or something there. Something making noise, anyway.
For all you know, it could be the cat and dog having an argument.
Meow!
Oh well, I'll move up and clear that other floor first.
Alright. You go up to the second floor. It's much smaller than the first. There are basically two doors, really.
Same routine as always. I listen.
Okay. Make me a notice roll.
Woohoo!
Alright. You hear someone on the other side sleeping on one door. The other door, you hear nothing at all.
Oh. I open the door where the person is sleeping. Silently.
Okay. You Make me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Okay. Right. You open it very quietly and peek in. You see in the darkness, you see a small form sleeping in their bed.
Oh shit, kid. I better do this silently. And I ease the door shut again.
Okay.
And I lock it.
You can't do that, but okay.
With my lockpick.
There's no lock on the door.
Oh shit. See if there's anything I can use to wedge it shut then.
And it's a lock pick, not a locker.
Yeah, you can lock with a pick. He's over to the other room.
Okay. The other room. It's a room with a slightly bigger bed, basic cupboard, and mod cons.
See if there's anything I can use as a wedge to keep the other door shut.
Not really, no.
Well, guess I'll have to take a chance then.
Alright, so you creep back downstairs.
Can you have mod cons in a flashback?
Can I what?
Never mind, being facetious.
Okay, I walk down again to the other door. And I listen again.
Okay, make me another notice roll. Alright, on the other side of the door, you hear sort of crying and whimpering. Oh, God. Oh, God.
And I ease the door open.
Okay, trying to do that sneakily.
Yes, of course.
Okay, make me a stealth roll. Alright. You ease the door open. And you see a basically fairly simple looking living room, dining room. And there's a man at his desk. His face is red with tears. And then he just kind of looks up at you. Who are you? What are you doing at my house?
And I walk up to him.
I've got to put him on the token layer.
Yeah.
There we go.
I walk up to him.
No, please! Please, no! I beg you! I'll give you everything! Please!
Magpie sends his regards.
No!
Stab, stab.
Please! Please! Okay, make me a fighting roll, please.
Yep.
It's not much of a fight!
You bloodthirsty fuck!
The guy's not...
He was a bit of a dick before joining Flora, you know.
Alright, that's a hit.
A bit
Yeah,
of a
make me
dick.
your
That is
damage,
at least
please.
7/8 of the chode.
Okay, first dagger.
Alright. You just... Where do you stab him? In the bottom there. You
And I
see the
eat-
knife kind of
Yeah.
sticking up through his mouth. It's pretty horrific.
And I ease him gently down so he doesn't tumble.
He falls on the desk and he just looks up at you.
And I gently remove my dagger and wipe it off on his shirt.
Okay, right. His head collapses down to the ground. Okie dokie. Hang on. Just uno momento, por favore. At this point, you hear a voice saying, Daddy? Daddy?
Yes!
Shit. I look around to see if there's any hiding spots.
Well, there are two doors There's one here and one here. No other
Okay.
obvious hiding spots, unless you want to hide under the table.
That would be an obvious hiding spot. I
So you're going to hide in whatever this room is.
I'm just opening.
Okay, you open it. Oop, wait, hang on. Whoops, wrong one. Yep. You find a fairly standard kind of kitchen for a lower middle class person.
I go over to the other door and check it.
Daddy, you hear a creaking on the door.
Oh shit! I'll open that door.
All right, you open the door. You go inside.
Yes.
All right, you find toilet.
Perfect. I go in there
Naturally.
Okay.
and I stand ready to
Jump in.
yes.
Daddy,
Oh
Daddy,
shit!
wake up. Daddy.
Considering that Nash's usual style is to stab them in the neck, that shouldn't really be all that effective.
Daddy.
Oh, shit!
Just basically hear very pitiful crying.
Ah, fuck! I kick in the door,
Okay, you hear the scream of the young girl as you kick at the door.
and I
She looks at
Run.
you in terror.
run past
Don't look back.
and don't look back.
You killed my dad! Okay, right, and at that point you just run. Yeah,
Yep.
basically you run out the door. Okay,
Shit,
you don't
shit.
appear to have raised any commotion outside.
Aside from the
However,
obvious.
as you're running through the streets,
Oh, as long as I'm clear, I stop running.
okay, you just walk through the streets. There's a boy, he looks to be about 12 years old. Just kind of glances at you as you walk by, and then you move on. Eventually, I'd imagine you go back to
My contact.
Johnny the Rat. Yeah.
Johnny the rat.
Okay.
And
Okay,
then-
you head back to your den of iniquity,
Yeah.
where all the other pickpockets hang out.
So as soon as
So,
I-
so Nash did the job, yeah?
I grab him by the collar and push him up against the wall.
Oh!
You didn't say there were any children there. You know, I don't kill children.
Listen, punk, you're making a big mistake right now. I take your hand off me, okay? I'm a big shot here. I'm Johnny the Rat, okay?
I just let him go.
I didn't tell you, because you didn't ask, and you didn't need to know. You were pretty eager to get that money. You weren't asking too many questions, were you, Nash?
No. But you should know one thing if this is going to work out. I don't kill children.
Well, did you?
No. I killed the guy, you know.
Kill the target.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's dead.
As long as nobody followed you here, then you did the job, alright?
It's done.
Good. Now, I've always liked you, kid, so I'm going to overlook what you just did to me. But in the future, you're going to have to be more professional. Understand?
As long as you understand me, everything will be fine.
Good. Wouldn't want you and your little sister there to go starving now in the streets, would we? And at this point, memory starts to fade.
Probably a good thing.
Okay, yep, you wake up, cold sweat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so you voyage on a little bit further.
Da, 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 da.
Longest voyage ever.
Traumatizing kids. Da, 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 da.
At this point, Flora, you get a knocking on the cabin door. Lady Flora, are you decent?
Yes, Norman. Decent enough.
Opens the door. You see that he's holding Loretta
Do I?
with one arm, and she's sort of limping beside him.
I was about to ask ask Norman how Loretta is. So,
My lady, as you can see, Loretta
Can she
has convalesced quite well. She seems to be getting better. You can walk if I carry her a bit. Thank you, Norman. Loretta just hobbles over.
Flora reaches her hands out for Loretta. Just to
My
take
lady,
her hands.
I'm so glad you managed to heal me in the nick of time. I felt myself at death's door when the mask crushed me.
It's a blessing you're still with us. Clearly, there's still much more you need to do.
Though, my lady, I'm glad that Loretta seems to be on the mend. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. He just goes over and shuts the cabin door. I wanted you to talk to you about your bodyguard, Nash. Now, I've noticed, my lady, he is certainly very quick, very skilled with the blade, and he's certainly gotten us out of some tight scrapes. However, I feel he takes a joy in killing, my lady, and he has a big mouth. He's arrogant. He almost got us killed by both Ulfric and Olaf. My lady, Nash has not been reforming as quickly as you'd surely hoped. I would suggest you speak to him at some point and make sure he's on the right path.
I appreciate your concerns. He's still very rough around the edges, and quite unlike the manner of people you are quite used to dealing with. I've not lost faith in him. He still wishes to do well and do good.
Well, if you're sure, my lady, I just hope he doesn't start slipping back into his old ways, as he seems to.
That is a concern. And what with the situation being as it is all too easy to fall back into bad habits.
And the young boy, Swift, what do you think of him, my lady?
In quite similar light, in need of some guidance. Sure not to slip down the bad path. Because there is a lot in the world that would turn him sour, turn him bitter. The world does not accept him, he doesn't find his place, there's not for him to do but struggle against it.
Well, as for him, he's a little bit insolent, but I will reserve my judgment on him for now. Thank you, my lady. I'm glad to leave your counsel with that, Norman. Looks off.
So we're wondering if Norman would suggest carting them both off to Harping, where they accept all the
crazy ones.
All the crazies, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good to have Loretta back.
Okay. You continue the rest of the voyage.
I would like to see you try to cart me off.
And you finally make it to Stratholm. You see a fairly kind of small port town, but it's already clear from looking at it, I mean, just how much more prosperous Stratholm is than Skalavik, or even Osea, and many areas of Jarrock. I mean, it's a truly beautiful dock. Just these, it's a very strong dock. It's even got a little sort of pagoda at the end of it, like at the end of a pier with amusements on it. People strolling about. They look happy. They're in their sort of very nice, formal, sort of long gowns, and ladies in their pretty frocks, twirling umbrellas above their head as they walk down the pier. And yeah, you notice sort of a lot of other sort of very stout wooden ships, frigates, man of wars, that kind of thing. It seems, yes, everyone has come out for the big Council of Nations meeting. This dock is very busy. It takes a couple hours before you manage to find a place where the Lusty Valkyrie can dock. But yes, when you dock, you've docked successfully. Captain Donavucci has you all up on deck. Captain on the bridge! Okay. Let me just check this is alright.
Wait, Captain on the bridge?
Well, okay, on the deck. Whatever. Fuck off. Die. Anyway. Lusty Valkyrie deck.
Set Thaeon to a stun! Wait, Captain on the
Okay, right.
Ships do have a bridge, don't they?
All the central characters are arranged on deck, including Loretta now. If I can just bring her onto the token layer. There we go. She's no longer shaken.
Well, possibly a little shaken in a general sense.
Mm-hmm.
This whole journey's been a little bit of an ordeal.
She'll be alright.
Yes, she'll be okay.
You'll learn her world card.
All right.
Physical scars heal and they hurt. Mental scars heal and they generally make us stronger.
Captain Donavucci walks up to the front of you. Well, it has certainly been an interesting voyage. I will give you that.
Look forward to the chance of sailing with you again, Captain.
Yes. However, I'm afraid my rates may be a little bit higher than last time. I hope you understand.
It won't be a problem.
Very good. Well, I have no problem sticking around for the next few weeks if you need to charter passage back. Stratholm is certainly a nice place to be. It's a nice tourist destination. Also, people here tend to respect the truce between various nations. Less chance of us getting killed, which certainly is something I would value for a little while.
Yes. Certainly hope there will be peace at least for a few weeks.
As for
And
Thomas
handedly
here,
pointed to Mesh.
I pat him. Sorry, I pat him. I am Donavucci now.
You might as well be.
Donavucci pats him on the shoulder. He's become a fine sailor these last couple of weeks. He's learned more in these last few weeks than many sailors do in years. Thomas just has a face that's just completely white at the moment. He still seems traumatized.
I know he'd do well.
I think if it's alright, I think Thomas would do well to rest and recuperate with the rest of us.
Yeah.
As for the mysterious woman of mystery over there, Eileen, it seems she'll be making her own way to Stratholm. Well, Steinberg. I think that's the name of the capital of Stratholm. Yes, I'll be making my own way to Steinberg. You know where to find me. You don't have to worry about me. I'll find my way there safely. That Aileen walks off.
I have good faith in
Fun
her.
woman. Wonderful sense of humour.
She is serious and straight to the point, that one. I can admire that, but I'm just not quite sure what to make of her. Anyway, Lady Flora, it's been good
Captain?
having you aboard. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Until we next meet, Captain.
Farewell! Oh,
Yeah.
and Swift. He pats you on the shoulder.
I just wince a little bit, expecting far more than a pat.
Permission to leave granted, my young. You've been a very colorful cabin boy.
Your mic
But
is...
I'm sure Lady Flora will offer you the counsel that someone of your abilities would need better than I could.
I'll
I
look
think
up
he's
and
just
grin.
happy that you're off the ship.
I'll look up and grin. She'll certainly try.
Captain Donovucci steps back, glad that it's not his problem anymore.
And his ship may not burn to the ground.
Thank you for having
anyway.
me, this captain. It's been fun.
Nods and smiles. Okay, so are you going to step off onto the dock?
No parting words for Nash.
Oh, okay.
That saved his life.
Nash!
Ah,
You know I
Captain.
don't like these long goodbyes, and I didn't think you did either, but you're looking quite sorrowful there. I thank you for saving my life, and making things more interesting. Possibly teaching Big Pete over there a little bit of humility, which he has only profited from.
Yeah, it was a
Grudgingly
nice couple of
nods.
weeks.
I look forward to seeing you again, my new friend.
And are you? I clasp hands with him and then get ready to go off.
Manly shake of hands. Okay, right.
Hey, Norman.
Okay.
Do you feel I'm more like a sailor now? Yeah, big, strong muscles. Wonderful, freedom of the sea.
I have gotten a bit more used to the seasickness, at least.
Well, you've learned to stop throwing up into the wind. That's a start.
Ugh. He groans. I'll certainly be glad to get back on dry land again.
Remember,
Nash
Norman's
snickers.
got my luggage to carry, so he can probably just hoist it in a very agitated fashion. Let's get a move on.
All right. So, yep. At the port, nearby, there's a carriage service. Yep, certainly. There's no shortage of tourists and other diplomats.
Which case, yeah, well, first line of business would be to get some snacks. So, you know, that's like a stall that sells roasted chestnuts or fish of some kind.
All right, deduct 1 crown from your
Yeah.
inventory.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessary for them to be cooked. Just saying.
Or you now have some roasted chestnuts.
Nice. Let's purchase.
I wonder if they sell Mars bars here.
There are some like candied chocolate apples and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want.
It's fruit! It's fruit in disguise!
As you walk along the pier, there's a guy who's like, "Hey kid, you want to go at this game? Look, throw the ball, knock off the coconut, easy. Look, anyone could do it. Any idiot could do it."
Well, that certainly includes you, Swift.
I will elbow Pixie in what would be the ribs on a full-grown man, but maybe something else entirely. And
By
say,
the hip.
sure, why not?
Ow! I
Okay,
have to
kid.
give it a try.
What's the prize anyway?
Oh, the prize. Well, you got a selection here. You got this big fluffy toy. There's a big
Yeah.
kind of happy mascot looking toy. There's what else would there be? Matt, think of some peer kind of game prizes for me.
Let's see. Well, let's see. Given the setting, the time zone, maybe little
Plushie?
little wooden soldiers.
Yeah, wooden soul.
Like
Oh
Thanks
yeah,
for the sets.
there's a set of wooden soldiers. Lovamorian Guardsman Edition.
Maybe little ducks on strings
Deridonian
when you pull
Guardsman
them.
Edition.
Maybe a whistle.
And there's also like a sort of a little Thaeon figurine with with
You can pull the
elf
string and he
accessories.
goes.
With an assortment of little elves in chains, all heads bent down.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of prizes there. You can take your pick. Just knock down 3 coconuts, and you can have any prize you want.
Try
I'd
and get
like
the flintlock pistol.
I like to do a notice roll to see which of them are actually glued down and which of them are real.
Okay, make me a notice roll.
Because I've been walking around the world for years now. This is not something new to me. I'd assume. I'd hope.
Are you suggesting it's a scam?
It's a peer game.
How dare you!
That's something I said aloud.
Roll it.
All right, yeah, you look at them.
What the hell
you
is that?
notice You notice a few of the coconuts, just they don't seem to be sort of swaying in the wind. I mean, it looks like they seem a bit too tightly stuck to the stands.
So now I know which ones to aim for.
Can see there are at least a few that look more pliable.
Are there at least 3?
There are at least 3.
Okay.
In fact, there are only 3.
How many shots do I have?
You have 5 shots.
Okay, first shot.
Good. I'm glad he's actually going with this instead of calling shenanigans, because I don't want to have a scene as soon as we step off the boat.
Yeah,
No, it's far more funny if you screw them over. So, I'm assuming it's like softballs or something.
Yep, it's little softballs.
I'll grab one and then
What is he made of?
grin impishly. Hope for the best.
I'll say softballs. I imagine kind of beanbags.
All right, you throw it and it misses. Oh,
Oh.
nice try, kid! You almost hit it. Just try one more time.
4 more times.
Yeah, 4 more times.
Strike now.
Okay, you throw it. Boom! It solidly impacts the coconut and it falls off.
Yeah.
You're doing great, kid. 3 more balls left.
3 for 2. How could it possibly be?
All right, you throw another ball. Clunk! Another coconut falls off.
Yeah.
Hey! Look, everyone, this kid's a winner. Everyone can be a winner. Even this kid can do it.
Even this kid.
Even this kid.
Even this gormless-looking kid can do it.
I will glare at him and then throw one very, very hard.
You're so angry and put off by what he said. You throw it, and it practically flies off the pier.
Almost at him.
Like
Don't
the guy
imagine.
stumbles back as he tries to grab it. Whoa, easy there, kid.
I'm
more
sorry, I
try.
wouldn't mean to fall in.
One more try, one more
Come on,
coconut.
love,
This is
love.
it.
You know, regardless of what the
Wild
result is, I'm probably
attack.
going to end up ending this.
Can't wild attack a coconut with a softball. All right,
Bingo.
aim carefully and coconut falls off. There is a cheer going off from the assembled crowd, and the crowd goes on. We've got a winner, folks. Hey, kid, you can choose from any of those prizes. A big Thaeon plushie, a complete set of toy guardsmen.
How inappropriate would it be for me to walk into an ambassadorial area holding a plushie as big as me with Thaeon? I am taking the stuffed toy of Thaeon.
You're taking a big stuffed toy. Okay, here you go.
And I just walk off with a shit-eating grin. Thank you.
Right, all the kids
What-
look like really jealous of you now.
If it's a peer toy, I don't imagine the craftsmanship is great, so maybe the face will be a bit off. Maybe the eyes aren't actually aligned properly, one's a bit lower than the other.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay. Add
very
Thaeon,
obvious seams
add
around the head.
Thaeon plushie to your to your
I have
the
plans
weight?
for this.
big Thaeon plushie.
I want to know
Oh,
what it's
it's-
stuffed with, because I don't think
I
soft
just-
cotton's
it's
available.
weightless. It's just kind of
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What's it
It's
stuffed
just,
with? I
it's
don't
just
think
a
soft
plushie.
cotton is
I
available.
won't encumber him for that.
Hmm.
I want to know what it's filled with.
God. Right, okay. How about you get on with the plot to save the world from
Oh,
tyranny and cruelty?
Oh, so boring.
Cake
What
with a
is my
plushie.
plushie filled with? I want to know.
It could be secrets. It could
What's
be
the
diamonds.
The
know, that
plushie
plushie
contains
is-
the secret to everything. Okay.
It's going to be
you,
a Chekhov's gun, isn't it? That plushie's going to come back at the end.
right,
It really
I'm
is.
assuming
Trust me, it's
you-
going to come back. I have plans.
I'm assuming
Oh,
you'd
no.
like to hire a carriage then.
To a good place to stay.
Don't get jealous, Talon.
Should we start by going to the Drunken Donkey? Because if we can rely
You're not,
on the barkeep there...
you're not in Steinberg yet.
Ah, no, good point.
go to Steinberg.
Sorry. It's the biggest trap. Gonna have to, yeah.
All right, you see a man at the desk at the carriage office. Hello there.
Good afternoon, sir. I'd like to rent a 5-person carriage to Steinberg.
6.
I see. Are you a
Beg pardon,
tourist or a diplomat?
Diplomat.
I see. And who are you with?
The Jarok delegation. If my accent doesn't give it away.
All right. What's your name?
Out of character, guys. We did agree we're going to go straight with this, aren't we? Yeah. Lady Flora, the Church of the Light of Dawn.
Lady Flora, Church of the Light of Dawn. Not on the list.
Oh, it seems we
Are
have
you some sort of a last-minute replacement or something?
not a replacement exactly. We weren't meant to be part of the delegation, but it seems that the message that was sent from Jarok has seemed to have either gotten lost or we seem to have arrived sooner than it did. It's most peculiar.
You made me your persuasion roll?
It's more of a lie than a persuasion.
Well, persuasion is essentially just lying in
Well,
your
there's
favour.
elements of truth in it.
Yeah, okay.
He looks you over and just looks at your robes and your retinue.
Certainly look the part.
Norman hands the man over some identification
Mm-hmm.
just to prove. Well, you do seem to be a priestess at the Church of the Light of Dawn. All right, I'll debit the money to the Jarok delegation. I'll let them sort it out. Okay.
Yeah, we're priests. We totally love Thaeon. See?
Carriage along shortly. Yeah. Next. All right. A carriage arrives for you.
While we're waiting, I'm going to say kind of a little quietly just to Nash and Swift to be on the lookout for anyone who looks like they might be a Lothamorian Beridonian Inquisitor. If we fall under scrutiny, then I'd like to know in advance.
Yeah,
By
I think
the
I
way-
remember their uniforms.
With respect, Flora, just what exactly are you expecting to gain from that? I mean, the Inquisitor's gonna know you're a priestess. It's kind of part of your order's thing. And I'm not exactly inconspicuous.
Yes,
I am wearing
it's
a hat
true.
at this point.
It's true they might take issue with who I'm with as it is, but there are ways we can avoid being identified as magic users.
Really?
Mm.
Does it involve telling our spirits to shut up? Because mine won't do that.
You'd better believe I won't.
Hush you.
It's
Okay.
a form of magic that puts up a screen. It does not shut up the spirits.
Anyway, the carriage hops along. You travel for an entire day. For actually, God, probably longer than that. Probably a couple days at least.
Given Flora can't really see the scenery around, she'd be more keenly aware of the bumps in the road.
Oh.
Nothing really to focus on except the sounds and the rocking of the carriage.
Nothing is pretty. I'll say, just leaning out of the window in a dreamy state.
Yep, you travel for a few days. Yep, there's places to sleep in the carriage. Yeah, I mean, they are used to this kind of thing. Yeah, there are like little bunks for you all to sleep.
It's a
It's a
trailer,
little-
basically.
Yeah, it's basically a trailer. I mean, it's used. It's Yeah, and yet you're not accosted by anyone. Stratholm seems like probably the safest country you've been to so far.
Oh
Until
yes, Stratho might well be neutral, but you're gonna find people who are fairly
Damn it, Rick, I've just
opinionated
realised,
within.
I've just realised, Brick, what you wanted me to do at the coconut stand.
what did you? Well,
The three path bolts. You wanted me to use a bolt to take them down in one shot.
Boosh.
Damn it!
I'm
well.
glad you didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Probably for the best. Okay, right. You notice just the topography of Stratholm. I mean, there are these like very high snow-capped mountains, and you're sort of traveling through these sort of grassy valleys between them. Just sort of think sounds of sounds of music, kind of
Ah.
territory here. After emerging from the valleys between snow-capped mountains, you see a town intersected by a river. Immediately, you are struck by its grandeur. Pristine stone buildings and paved roads glinting under the sun. Let's have a quick doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Ooh, looks pretty
Um,
nice.
A particularly grand structure with a massive glass dome dominates the middle of the town. This is Steinberg, the capital of Stratholm and a city untouched by war or poverty.
Yet.
Pretty.
Yet.
Because now I have come.
Dash's arrived to
I
fuck
can't ever
everything
wonder
up.
what these people would think of us, being mages.
Well, why don't you're going to find out, I suppose.
Well,
I
yeah,
have-
but I'm hardly going to ride into town on
Yep.
top of the carriage like a rock star shooting off blasts.
As the carriage kind of comes into the station, I mean, you see all sorts of people there. You see, priests holding the burning sword symbol you've become so familiar with. Obviously, they're from Deridon. You see, you see Lovamorians. You see Jarockians. You see Oceans. You see just all sorts of people, and then you see the natives. The natives seem almost exclusively to be very well off.
That seems unnatural.
Okay,
At least a
carriage,
few of them should have been robbed by now.
Yeah.
Carriage comes to a stop and lets you out.
I'll pop down and stretch with an irritated expression. That's took forever.
Yeah.
At this point, you see a variety of people. They're kind of holding up signs. Like this one guy's holding up a sign that says, to the Jarok embassy, another to the Lovamorian embassy, that kind of thing.
I missed this, funnily enough.
Hey Nash, want to go to the Lotharockian embassy? It'd be funny.
Lotharockians.
Whatever they are.
Lolomorians.
This child still does not understand basic geography.
Oh, get over it. They're not all that important.
Given
Yeah.
we are
They're
about
Big
to
Evil
go,
Nation 1 and Big Evil Nation 2.
Yeah.
I'll let them
given
decide
we are
which one is the
trying
one and
to
which one is the
save the world here, I think a basic knowledge of geography would be required.
Gentlemen, please, not so loud. We've just arrived.
Huffs.
Well, are you technically supposed to be my tutor? You have failed.
It's not for lack of trying. Now.
No,
let's-
for lack of talent.
He
I love you
he
too.
unrolls a world map again. and starts lecturing you.
Should really try teaching in mnemonics.
This
Like it would be
is
better.
Lovermore. A few hundred years ago. Anyway,
Nash,
I
do you
will
see
make-
anyone around that will be of interest to us?
I will point and glare pointedly
We've
at
got
that.
the Jarok delegation reception over there, and I nudge her in a direction.
Perfect. We'd best go there then. At least let them know that we've charged them for our passage here.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to let that be
necessary.
a pleasant surprise, milady.
oh yeah, especially like for a hyper-capitalist country. I'm sure they'll be glad to know you've been nicking their money. Okay, right. Okay, so there's a man who meets you there. It's like, all right, to the Jarok delegation, miss.
If you please.
Right this way. He gets you into another sort of smaller carriage for, transporting people shorter distances. And you ride to the Jarok delegation.
Unless Swift is really sworn off carriages.
It's tempting to walk alongside or fly alongside, but alas, no.
Ah, you should have taken the hobby horse prize.
The what?
Hobby horse.
That was a prize?
Well, I only thought of it just now, but I'm sure there was.
Okay.
Where's the
Got to
hobby
have
horse
been.
or rocking horse?
Okay, the Jarok embassy.
Rick, I need a
It's-
translation.
What?
What's a hobby horse?
Hobby horse. It's kind of like a,
A
sort of
stick horse.
Yeah,
Oh,
stick with like
okay.
a horse's head on it. They go wee.
That's how you can travel. If you
Yeah,
don't like carriage.
no.
Swift arrives on his hobby horse.
No, I have the Thaeon plushie. It is important.
Okay. Right, you've got your big plushie. Okay, right. Yep.
At this point, I probably would have rigged up some ropes so I can carry it on my back.
Some more kids look at you jealously.
You glare at them.
The Jarok Embassy. It's a moderately sized building. There are some glass windows made of glass. Who'd have thought? Stained glass windows. It's got a sort of a symbol of a snake atop a pile of coins. It's the Jarokian symbol.
How inviting.
Yeah. Yep. The
feels like home.
Jarokian national animal is snake.
Careful, Bright Eyes. They
And they
found out
don't
that
seem
you
to
charging
see the
your
well, at
carriage.
least they don't mind the irony in that because they quite admire snakes, it seems.
Got their nuisance.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right. So you enter the embassy. There's a receptionist at the front desk.
The standard Jarokian livery of
As a matter of fact, you see I can just up. You see a sort of a mousy-looking middle-aged woman who's kind of a bit fidgety at the front desk. Hello there. Welcome to the Jarokian Embassy. What is your business?
My name is Lady Flora of the Church of Light of Dawn, the High Priestess of Church of the Light of Dawn. I'm here to talk with the Jarokian ambassador.
Oh, Ambassador Olango. Oh, of course. Right this way. He's not busy right now.
Thank you. We do appreciate this.
She leads you to a rather grand-looking office.
I'll nudge Nash on the elbow and just mutter, I don't think I'm Jarokian.
Probably not.
Okay. Right.
If you two want to make yourselves scarce, now would be a good time.
You see
no.
a
Yeah, I'm with
dark-skinned man. He twirls his seat around as he sort of lounges and looks at you. Welcome.
Ambassador Olango.
Who has come to seek my counsel today?
That's not racist!
No, it's not racist. It's perfectly fine. So,
Ambassador Olango, I am High Priestess Flora of the Dawnbringers. We were hoping we could, offer our assistance with the meetings in the council over the coming weeks.
I see. Uh-oh. What is Swallow getting?
Plushie.
Okay.
We'll assume Swift's nicely listening.
Yeah, okay, Swift.
I'm still listening.
Swift briefly
I'm just
goes
examining
elsewhere.
a bookshelf in the far corner.
So, you wish to go as part of our delegation?
If you would have us.
I see.
The Dawnbringers are greatly interested in the proceedings.
So, where are you from?
Whereabouts in Jarok.
Oh, you already mentioned that. Okay. I was just
Yeah,
by Swallow.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
if you have come all the way from Jarok as a representative of the Church of the Light of Dawn, I see no reason to deny you a place in my delegation when we go inside.
I'm very hospitable of you, Ambassador.
If you have any points to raise on the council, you may wish to make them now.
Certainly, we'd love to.
We're opposed to the eradication of mages, that's kind of a thing.
The eradication of mages. Yes, well, I suppose that is something to be opposed to. Certainly, mages have some economic usefulness.
Yeah,
course
we're
they
profitable. Yeah.
And you Dawnbringers, you have been economically useful as well. Though initially you tried to give away some of your healing services for free. You were acceptant of it when the Trade Council forced you to charge so as not to destabilize the market.
Clearly we are ahead of our time.
Yes. Of course, you wouldn't want to destabilize the market, would you?
Certainly not. Cause far more damage.
Good, good.
And undermine our core philosophies.
I spend my days dealing with foolish, idealistic prigs like Ambassador Dreyfus, who are always talking about social justice. Can you imagine? The only justice is who makes the most coin should live in the most luxury, because he is the most deserving.
That's something to what you say.
Well,
He nods.
Jarek stands as a testament to that philosophy.
It certainly does, and I am glad you agree.
Perhaps these talks would be a good opportunity to truly highlight to the other ambassadors, including Dreyfus, the merits of such thinking. Sadly, Dreyfus does come from a very different sort of upbringing. They have very, very different ways of thinking and approaching philosophy
Yes.
and economics.
They believe in mollycoddling their people. It makes them weak. Can they not
I need
see?
to be right back 1 second. It is desperate.
But
All right,
if they are
if it's
weak,
desperate.
it's easier for us to be strong.
I suppose there is a point to that. Yes. But in any event, talking to people like them gives me a headache.
So I think he had phrases. Have you met with any of the other ambassadors before now?
Of course, I meet with them all the time.
What are your first impressions of them?
Dreyfus is a idealistic fool, as I am sure you have heard me say. Montaro, he is a headcase. I don't blame him either. If I had to represent the Ocean Federation, I would be a headcase too. Lynch, he is a brainwashed fanatic. As for... God damn it, I have so many characters.
Gainsleigh.
As for Berkeley, Berkeley is a tired old man who has been put in the position he's put in to get him out of the way, because Gainsleigh pushed him out of the way. He used to be more highly ranking in the king's court, but now Gainsleigh is the king's favorite. The old man used to serve Stanley's father. Yes, his glory days are long behind him now. It is very tiresome listening to him talk about the olden days.
Perhaps he would be more approachable than a lot of the others then.
Well,
Perhaps easier to talk
relatively
to.
speaking, take your pick. And of course, for this meeting, High Priest Ethelbert Gainsleigh, as you said, he will be attending. He will be making some sort of big proposal, I have heard.
Yeah, we've heard mention that there is something large to be discussed, which is partly why we needed to send a representative to see and put our case forward. But it would be advantageous to talk with a lot of the other delegates first, if you would mind being able to help facilitate that for us.
Certainly I can help you meet with the other delegates.
Thank you.
Anyway, just to prepare you, Lady Flora, if you have not been to one of these meetings before, you will not get long to speak and introduce and discuss an idea. So, if you have an idea or a point to discuss, I would be well prepared and I would say it quickly and concisely before the arbitrator cuts you off.
Very wise words. Thank you.
Though you are a representative of the Church of the Light of Dawn, your words are not going to carry as much weight as an ambassador or the rulers who are attending.
I'd most
King
certainly would not say anything that you would not approve of as the word.
Ambassador.
Yeah, like the nominated ambassador.
King Stanley and Grand Priestess Vane are the two most powerful people in the world. So they will certainly get a lot of time to speak. Oh, but listening to King Stanley talk.
Is it really that bad? I heard he was something of a coward, but...
I thought we held ourselves in quite high regard in Jarok, but this King Stanley takes the cake.
Ah, so he's an arrogant fucker.
That is a good way to describe him, yes.
Narcissist.
I'm sorry. He's
Another good way to describe him. There are many adjectives that could be used to describe him, but all of them negative, I assure you.
Nonetheless, knowing that he is a narcissist could be useful in dealing with him.
Yes, useful is the only positive one, I would think. He certainly he values the trade ties with Jarok, and that is good enough for me. So, the first meeting, you've arrived here just in time. The first meeting will start tomorrow morning. I will arrange some beds for you here.
It's exceptionally kind of you. Thank you, Olanga.
You are most welcome. At this point, the door opens. Deep-a-deep-a-doo.
I wonder if we should broach the topic of, we kind of charged you to get up here. No, I'm sure it's fine. I guess he's the sort where if he hears about it, he'll wave that and say, oh, it doesn't matter.
You see two men. One, he's a young-looking man. Looks to be kind of early 20s, late teens kind of thing. He has sort of a fairly sort of sour expression on his face. And there's another man, looks to be about the same age, late teens, early 20s. He's got blonde hair. He's got a very frilly collar. He's he looks a bit like a foppish dandy. You'd assume that the foppish dandy is Primus, and the other young man is Albin. Ah, here are Albin and Primus, two of my ambassadorial aides. At this point, Albin, make me a notice roll. Everyone who's interested.
If it's visual only, then I decline.
Yes.
Okay. Nash and only Nash. When Albin looks at you, you notice that his eyes just go...
Shit.
And then, but that's it. And he kind of coughs.
Expecting us.
I sort of glare at him.
Is there something wrong?
What? No.
Oh, good. Please introduce yourself, Albin and Primus. This is Lady Flora and her retinue. They will be speaking on behalf of the Judge of the Light of Dawn. Primus at this point comes over and says, "Oh, hey there, guys. My name is Primus. Lord Primus, technically. I mean, I'm a son of a Lovamorian nobleman. Have you seen the girls in Steinberg, man? They're so hot. I mean, sorry if that offends you, Lady Flora. I know you're a priestess and all, but I mean, this place is cool, right? I mean, I'm so glad my mom and dad sent me here. I mean, not that I didn't get here of my own talent and ability. I mean, I'm pretty cool and all. I'm rambling. Sorry. God, man, I just love being here. You know.
It's a very pretty town.
Yes, it's really cool, man.
That's good to hear you so excited.
I fully understand the obsession with girls here at the moment.
Albin
They're
just kind
particularly
of
interesting.
nods at you. Yes. Greetings, ambassadorial aide Albin. He just looks down, pretty much at the ground.
You're a shy one.
I speak when I need to speak. Is there a problem with that?
Just seems a bit rude not to introduce yourself more.
I gave you all the introduction I need. Okay. I am noticing some sort of tension in the air here. Why don't, Primus, why don't you show these fine people to their rooms? I will have a talk with you, Albin. Oh, sure. I'd love to show you guys to your new rooms. Hey, come right this way.
Is there any chance I could just move slightly out of sight or just be less conspicuous?
Well,
or is it like fairly obvious that I'd be in the office?
Yeah, it's fairly not really any way you can hide yourself.
Yeah, worth a try.
Hide behind the plushie.
Okay. Yeah, you just go plushie. Oh, so you guys seem really cool. I mean, who's your is this your son or something?
No, I'm fairly sure they wouldn't be all that proud if I was though.
Oh, okay, cool. this kid, he's a funny guy.
I'm something more like an apprentice,
only
honestly.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to understand what you're saying, but he just laughs and nods anyway.
Love this guy's enthusiasm. Good player.
So,
I just nudge Nash. Do you think this guy is yeah.
Quite possibly.
So, okay, guys, he seems to actually be practically dancing. He's in such a good mood. So, here are your rooms. You see, yeah, very nice rooms. Nice red satin sheets. You guys need me to get anything else for you?
We'll be sure to let you know as we think of things.
Oh, by the way, dude, don't worry about that album. He's a bit of a stick in the mud. I mean, I always try and invite him out to bars and parties, you know, to kind of meet girls, but he's just so boring, you know? Don't worry about him.
What is the local nightlife like around here like anyway? I mean, everyone here seems kind of uptight, at least in public.
Well, I tell you what, when night comes around, Steinberg comes out to play. The nightlife is great, man. You want to come out to the bars? I mean, I'll show you all kinds of stuff, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe not for you, Swift.
Oh.
Oh, come on,
You're a bit
man.
too young.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's got to learn sometime, man.
I gotta
I
learn
guess.
sometime, man.
Yeah, I guess you have to learn sometime.
So, everything for you guys? You guys all cool?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
All
thank you.
right. See you guys later.
See you later.
Primus just walks out of the room.
The moment he's gone, I'll just turn towards one nearest wall and smack my head against it lightly.
Well, I guess we know that he's not the spy. Unless he's a
Oh,
really good
it's
actor.
A very good cover.
That was... hey, Bright Eyes, are you capable of telling whether or not someone else has been possessed by a spirit? Because we may have just met the manifestation of dumb.
We know why he's
I
here.
believe I could.
I don't think he's here for being an aide. I think he's here for the partying.
You really?
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
It's no great difficulty to monitor him to ensure he is going out to enjoy the nightlife.
Yeah.
If he is, then he hardly has any time to
I will adopt a
poison
solemn...
Arlango's ear.
I will adopt a solemn expression and say, I will perform this duty.
Yes, you will.
I suppose I should probably move around the house just a little bit, see if I not the house, the ambassadory, embassy. That's it.
Pastoral suite.
Embassy!
Yes, the embassy to try and figure out a bit more about these guys. I mean, I think I'm the best equipped here to try and figure out who the spy is.
All right,
Yeah.
right. What line of inquiry are you doing? Are you a spy?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with
Is
that.
he a spy?
So, how long have you been in this position?
How long have we been in the spying business?
So, what's it like being a spy?
It would probably
I'll
start
catch
with
him out
like,
with this one.
I
You'll
think
probably
we
start
might
with, like,
have
simple
some
questions.
sort of problem with this Albin guy, by the way.
oh,
I think
I
he
know you were giving him like
recognizes-
a really
recognizes
shitty
me.
time. Did he notice you because of your whole, or us? You or us?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, he might have ties to the Jarek underground.
Well, we're a bit far away from Jarek, I think. I'll just give Norman a really dirty glance. Although I could be wrong about that.
Well, technically, Jarek is the closest of the Free States.
What, really?
I might be harping.
We're in Harping, aren't we?
Nope.
Norman gets out the map.
Oh, son of
The vein twitches on his head.
I will just glare and then stomp out of the room irritably.
Okay. Right. Do you anything you want to do before the grand first meeting tomorrow?
Yes.
Alright.
I need a quick recess.
All right.
I'd like to try and figure out who else is working in the embassy. Particularly if I can find the third aid.
So Nash is going to go rest for a bit.
Okay. Nash goes to rest for a bit.
I'd like to take 30 seconds as well if he is.
All right.
We'll edit this out.
Right. All right. So. Right. What are you doing?
Well,
Actually, I only have the rest of the day before the first big meet.
Nash is taking it easy, trying to avoid this Albin fella.
Mm-hmm.
Swift is wandering through the house and is in as unobtrusive a manner as possible in order to try and figure out if there are any like primary servants, or to try and find the third aid, or worst comes to worst, or best comes to best, find secret passages.
You want to find Shen?
Sure.
Okay. Yep. She's still at the front desk.
Oh, that was her.
Yep.
Interesting.
She just seems to look rather sad and rather distant.
I just wander over casually then. I've still got a Thaeon Doldom, because, always. And just wander over the desk. You okay?
Oh, me. I'm sorry. I've just... I have this problem. It's with my throat. It's an unfortunate malady. It's been affecting me for some time, but Ambassador Alango, I was his clerk back with his fishing concern. He's been very nice to bring me with him here. He said the bracing fresh air in Stratholme would help a bit. It might have helped a little bit, I suppose.
I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe we could ask Lady Flora to help out? I mean, she's quite good with the whole Healy thing. I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about the magic-y. But it seems to work.
No, that's quite all right. We've tried magical healers before. Whatever this is, seems curiously resilient to it. Let me tell you, the payments for the drugs needed for this are certainly difficult to keep up. But anyway, sorry, who are you again?
My name's Swift. I'm sort of an apprentice priest thingy to Lady Flora, kind of. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Church of the Dawnbreakers. What was the name?
Church of the Light of Dawn.
Church of the Light of Dawn's recruitment methods, but, well, the apprentices tend to be quite weird.
I didn't know that they were training children as potential priests, but oh well, I suppose anything's possible these days.
Well, to be fair, I'm probably not going to end up being a very good priest either way.
Right. He just looks at you oddly, not sure what to think.
I'll grin. I'm guessing that it isn't public knowledge then that the Dawn, like, whatevers, are magicians.
I think it is.
It's public knowledge that they are, yes. And this is obviously why they're banned in Lovermore and Deridon. But of course, they're of some use in There's some use in Jarok, certainly, which is why they're allowed to do their business. And in Osea as well, most of the islands.
I hear they do way weirder stuff with them than harping.
As for harping, well, let's just say harping has a strong belief in freedom of speech, so they allow the Dawnbringers to practice their ideology, but with them being linked to Thaeon and all, not very popular in harping.
I've never been all that fond of Thaeon myself. I'm completely ignorant of the fact that I'm still holding it.
That's strange, given the fact you're carrying a giant Thaeon plushie and you're looking to join an order that worships Thaeon. I would think you would be more pro-Thaeon, but that's just me, I suppose.
Well, you know, the less we believe something, the more we feel we have to put extravagant displays on that we do. I mean,
You're a very strange child. Sorry, that might be a bit rude.
no,
True
you're
words
right.
I've never
It's true.
said.
I'm not very good with children. He just sighs.
I'm probably not that helpful then. But mages are weird. I thought you knew that. I thought everyone knew
Yes,
that.
mages can often be weird. Yeah, weird to the point of sanity, and well, you know the rest.
I've been called worse.
I'm sure you're quite sane, though. I'm sure whatever spirit is inside your mind isn't telling you to burn things or whatever.
I'll
So
give her a
I'm sure
slightly
you're
manic
all
grin.
right.
I hope you feel better soon. Maybe. I mean, bracing air. Sure, why not? It'll fix things. I'll give her a grin and then just wander
She
off.
gives you a very, very strange look and says, "Yes, all right, goodbye."
I'll head straight back to the room.
All right.
I'll walk in, give them a very meaningful look, shut the door and say, "It's Shen."
I'm sorry?
The spy, it's Shen.
Okay.
How can... What proof?
Well, she screwed up her lungs or something working for this ambassador's fishing concern, and now she needs to take these expensive drugs to keep it up. So
Good point.
she has no real reason to like this ambassador because, you know, she screwed up her life and she's still an aide. And she's, well, to put it simply, going to be running low on money relatively soon. And what's the best way to control someone?
Basing that on very...
It does make
Very-
sense.
My bet is that Pixie's friend, what was this, Albus?
Albin.
Albin. Thank you, disembodied voice. So, yeah, my guess is that Albin is probably either connected to one of Pixie's old groups, Nash's old groups, or whatever, and chances are that this fop is exactly what he appears to be.
Yeah.
If there's your
Do a
first
little more
impression
digging, but that's what I think so far.
I would be surprised if the Jarokian Underground did not have a foot in this.
What else would they have 3 aides?
Hmm.
And with that, I am going to take a nap.
You're going to think, yup, case closed.
Not case closed. Case on hold.
I'm going to take a...
Please do more research. I think it's hardly enough evidence to
Yeah,
this on the
Use
side.
the sickly middle-aged woman.
Can't really go stab her based on this.
Don't go stab her. Live spies are more useful than dead spies in most situations.
Okay. Nash not going back to his old ways there, clearly. Right, okay. Anything else the rest of you want to do before the meeting tomorrow?
No.
Nothing? Okay then. Right. You spend the rest of the night having a very peaceful sleep on some very soft beds.
Yeah.
Ah, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Take any drugs to help us sleep.
Mhm. you sneak in some androsite. You have some very interesting dreams. Okay. Yep. Anyway. You wake up the next morning. Albin enters the room. Looks down at you all.
Well, I'm quick on my feet.
You're very quick on your feet, aren't you?
I don't like people looming over me while I sleep.
No.
Oh, look up.
Neither do I.
Green.
So, I've been told to bring you along to the meeting. Come along now.
Hmm.
I'll remove myself from the room if you need to get dressed, Lady Flora.
The temptation to just turn around and snore.
I will just move slightly further under the covers of my particular alcove and just mutter to myself, Talon, is there anything about him you can tell me?
Only thing I can tell you is I sense anger in him.
Anger directed at who?
Hard for me to tell. I would need to observe him longer.
Observation I can do. That's
Yes. Good job winding up that sickly older lady, by the way.
Well, you know, some people aren't all that clear on what mages and spirits actually are.
I suppose not.
I'm supposed to eliminate them now.
Right. Talon just backs off in your mind. Okay, anyway, so you all get dressed and head down to the meeting.
We do. I don't bring my backpack.
You don't bring your backpack. Okay. Do you bring like your freaking daggers and your trident and your flintlock pistols?
And the six cutlasses.
I don't bring the guns, but I bring the daggers.
Fairly sure he left the cutlasses behind, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, they've been melted down now. Don't worry about them.
And not the spear.
Okay. Right. You don't take the spear or your flintlock pistols. Okay. That looks
No one
slightly
thinks a
less
child will be
suspicious.
concealing 6 daggers, so I'll be fine. Oh, sorry, 5.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Yep. You're led down to another smaller carriage, and there are a couple others behind you. And the little wagon train of carriages take everyone off to the delegation. Right. Right. Eventually, all of you come to the council council headquarters building. This is the grand headquarters of the Council of Nations. It is a huge building with these marble pillars in front of it, and these big steps, and it's got a sort of beautiful glass dome atop it. And it's just a huge hustle and bustle. And there's just a line in front of it of diplomats getting in from all various nations. Unfortunately, it seems that they're checking people for weapons.
Yeah.
Hiding
Move along. All right, make me a stealth roll.
Yes, I will do the stealth roll.
Does my walking stick count as a weapon?
They never take a priest's walking stick.
No, blind priest, no.
Benny!
Dude, you forgot to do the wild die.
No,
Oh, I see.
the guards just inspecting people aren't wild cards.
In that case, I will also do a stealth roll, because I can.
Okay. Guard at the front. Pat, 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 pat. All right, in you go. All right, you're also making a stealth roll. Okay.
Oh, for the love of shit, Benny.
Good luck.
Why is it that important to carry your fucking weapons in? Oh, god damn it! He kind of pats you down. He doesn't want to look like a pedo, so he doesn't do too thorough a job of it. So, yeah, so in you go. Pats Lady Flora down, but of course, yeah, Flora, Norman, Loretta.
I'll just nudge Norma with my elbow. It's just me, or did he take a bit too long patting down Flora there?
Yeah. I thought so too.
It's a sexy female girl, by the way. Ooh.
Did she take a bit too long right now, Flora?
Yes, totally. Fan service, everyone.
Imagine it!
You use your imagination.
So Matt, tell me, are you feeling violated right now?
Nice. I see what you did there.
Okay, excellent. So, all right, there's a kind of a grand chamber, sort of out. Well, there's kind of a grand lobby area. It seems like various people who aren't actually going into the grand hall itself are just kind of waiting around here. At this point, Norman speaks up. My Lady Flora, I suggest that Loretta wait outside. As your scribe, I will attend to you. Loretta nods and goes and sits in the waiting area.
Oh, goodness. Hopefully we shan't be too long.
Very well.
I'll try and break off from the group at this point and go try and sit with the Jerachian delegacy. Well, areas,
Yes.
so I can keep a closer eye and an ear on the aides.
Okay, right.
You're not going to go crawling under the benches, are you?
Maybe, if the situation calls for it.
I am going to hail the aides as well.
Okay, you're going to keep a close eye on them.
Yep.
I'm going to, remain in full view of everyone, not sneaking around like these people.
Yeah, not
So
just
I
because you have a
can't.
-4 in sneaking.
No, it's more than
Alright.
that. It's like a -8, isn't
at
it?
this. Woo, motherfucker.
Oh yeah!
Oh.
This must have taken a while to
Hey,
set.
that's the
It
dude
did.
that I killed.
This took a little while.
He's come back!
You notice a few people who look somewhat similar, but, lots of people here. Alright. Bonk you down. Is that everybody?
Yep,
Or are we missing? There we go, there's Nash.
we're missing. Where are the aides sitting?
Oh, by the way, yeah, I forgot to put name tags on. Hustle and bustle as everyone, gets ready to start the meeting.
I sort of nudged this person over there. You're in my seat.
Oh, I say.
What, the kid?
Here's Nash.
No
I'll pop
problem.
up onto the chair with a grin and then sit cross-legged.
It seems that this lady over here is just the wife of someone else, so you're seeing there are people who need space. She goes in the general stands. Budge up a bit for you.
Norman will direct me to where I can sit.
Make me a retroactive persuasion roll, Flora.
Aye.
This is just to see how much of a liking Alango has taken to you.
Did you do your advances, by the way?
Nope.
Benny.
No, I've not used any minis yet.
Yep, session won't be going too much longer. Okay, right. Alango smiles at you as he sees you come over. Please, Lady Flora, sit at the front with me. I would be glad to have you by my side.
Thank you. Actually, I wonder if this persuasion roll factors in the charismatic that I have.
Oh, you've got charismatic now. Okay.
No, I've always had it.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Okay.
I think I have it too.
I kind of told you when I first made the character.
All right. Well, you should factor it in automatically. Anyway,
If it does.
if it's not already factored in, then that's a 9. Then okay.
Doesn't factor in.
All right. If it doesn't factor in, then that's actually a 9, which is even better. His smile is even wider than before.
By 2 degrees.
Yes, 2 degrees wider. He just pats the seat next to him.
And yeah, Laura's helped in.
Albin raises an eyebrow at you as the commotion's starting. He leans over to
Not that I
you,
noticed.
Flora. So, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get to know the rest of your retinue?
I guess I hear that.
I appreciate the interest, Aid Alvin, but it's with the business conducting in front of us, perhaps it's best to focus on that for now.
Very well then. Goes back. Okay. Across from you, you see the various ambassadors and representatives of the various nations. Oh, by the way, I forgot Berkeley. Go. You see Ethelbert Gainsley for the first time. He is a dark-haired man with a sort of a cleft chin, sort of a bit of stubble. He's a lot more handsome than you'd think him to look, but in a sort of a distinctly rugged way. He wears these sort of green robes. They're not too ostentatious. He sort of seems to have a sort of perpetual sort of smile on his face. Next to him, you see King Stanley. King Stanley is a large man, shall we say. He's got a little bit of a paunch on him. He sort of leans against his chair leisurely and looks around, sort of sneering at everyone. Ambassador Berkeley just sort of leaning on his cane as he sits at the table, looking rather grim-faced. You also see Artesia Vane for the first time, but it's a little ways away, so you can't make her out too well. But it looks like a woman with long dark hair who's wearing these very grand red robes with a flaming sword proudly emblazoned on the front of her chest. Where as soon as you meet her gaze is, even from this far away, it is absolutely piercing. The sort of level of intensity this woman shows.
I don't meet her gaze.
Okay.
I think Swift might be the only one who can and will.
Actually, yeah, come to think of it, Flora, you can't meet her gaze, so you have no idea how piercing it is. Right. Okay.
Which one?
God, it's annoying. It's annoying having a blind character.
It really is.
This one.
Hang on a sec, so whose gaze am I meeting? No,
Red lady sitting opposite us.
She's just casting her gaze around the room very regally, even though she's not a king, unlike King Stanley. King Stanley seems a bit more pompous. Anyway,
I'm very
after a little while,
a
man in the middle of the hall bangs his gavel. Order! Order! I call to order the first meeting of the council, this annual Council of Nations. I welcome Ambassador Olango of Jarok. I welcome Ambassador Giraffus of Harping, Ambassador Montaro of the Ocean Federation, Ambassador Aldous Lynch, and joining us as a guest, the esteemed Grand Priestess and leader of Deradon, Artesia Vane. And of course, from Lovermore, Ambassador Berkeley, High Bishop Ethelbert Gainsley, and His Majesty King Stanley. King Stanley just sort of stands up, waves to everyone.
No applause.
And I call this meeting to order. Let us begin. And there's a bunch of rustling, and he sort of starts calling off various people. It sort of starts off with Ambassador Olango kind of starting to talk about trade agreements with the various nations, as he's very wont to do. And after a little while, it gets around to Gainsley's turn to speak. At this point, Gainsley stands up with a smile on his face. Ambassador Gainsley has a proposal he wishes to make to the council. Thank you very much, esteemed delegate. My name is High Bishop Ethelbert Gainsley, but no need for the High Bishop. I like to think of myself as a humble man. I grew up on the streets of Lovermore. I had a difficult life with people who I didn't always like, but I got along with them anyway, as I'm sure the people of the Ocean Federation can understand. I was self-reliant in my youth, as I hope our good delegates from Jarok can respect. And I grew to be a high bishop because of my belief in Thaeon's light, and that he would one day deliver me out of my poverty. And I'm sure our delegates from Deradon can appreciate that. Seems to be a sort of a murmuring of approval at all this. I come to you bearing some grim news. I have heard from some informants and some reliable sources that a second calamity may be about to befall us. We all know that harping keeps the magic users in asylums for their own safety, and the elves in their government keep them there. But I think it might be a conspiracy to bring about another calamity where the elves and the magic users will rule over the world and oppress us once again. I don't mean to sound too harsh, Ambassador Dreyfus, but I wish to help you root out this conspiracy before it overwhelms you. I propose a coalition with Deradon. I propose that together we send in inquisitors to help purge harping of this blight before it threatens to consume the entire world. I ask the support of all other nations in this endeavour to keep the peace of humanity and of us all. I thank you. He bows, and there's a smattering of applause.
Yeah. Well, that's applaud as well, just to keep up appearances.
I sort of muttered to Swift, I really want to stab that guy.
At this point,
yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Dreyfus raises his hand. Ambassador Dreyfus wishes to raise a motion. Yes! Yes, I most certainly do. This accusation is utterly ridiculous and completely unfounded. The idea of sending his inquisitors into our territory is a violation of international law and is a clear attempt to back harping into a corner. Can't all the other delegates see this? A kind of a muttering. Ambassador Olango, can't you see? At this point, Olango snorts and he speaks up. It is your own problem, Dreyfus, if you have allowed your country to fall into such disrepair where such conspiracies can take root. Be self-reliant for once and take care of your own problems. But, Ambassador Montaro, don't you realise what Lothamore and Deradon are trying to do? Listen, I agree with Ambassador Olango. It is not our prerogative to sort out your problems. The Ocean Federation wants no part of this. Sits back down. At the second meeting, I will be raising some very compelling evidence against this. This is a violation of international law. Sits back down again. Right. The arbitress. All right, you've made your point. Let's continue moving on. And more motions keep getting discussed. Lady Flora, if at this point you want to sort of raise something to the court, you will have an opportunity.
Well, of course there is some pressure to feel that I should really throw something awesome out there. Sensibly, though.
Sadly, you have nothing awesome.
Partly that, yes. The other concern is if we throw that out there, that'll just get the immediate attention. And at this stage, that's kind of risky because we want to be able to influence things before falling under scrutiny.
Well, I could end the session on a cliffhanger if you want to prepare something cool for next session.
That's reasonable.
Would you?
I am
would you
quite
like
interested
that?
to see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I won't disappoint.
At this point, the arbiter turns to the Jarrock delegation. Does the Jarok delegation have any other points it wishes to raise?
Then Flora stands.
Time seems to slow down as if Flora standing up was going to take an entire week in which she could carefully prepare what she was going to say. And there we have it. That is the end of our session for now.
What a build-up.
Tune in next week to see what amazing, brilliantly insightful, charismatic speech Flora will give.
I think you might be holding it up a bit too much.
It's okay, I'll just steal something from the movies.
Okay, thank you everyone if you've been watching. We will see you next week. Bye.
Ta.
Bye.